Hello, and thanks for joining in. I'm Holly Shields here for Kalkine Media, and welcome to another edition of Executive Corner Expert Talks. Today, we'll be narrowing in on RentMy, an innovative, secure peer-to-peer rental platform that lets users rent anything from anyone, anywhere, and saving money in the process. And here to share their insights is founder and CEO Tom West. Welcome to the show, Tom. It's great to have you with us.
Hi.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show. First of all, RentMy has been named as one of the top rental startups in the UK by the Business of Shopping. So congratulations on that awesome feat. How has this journey been so far for you? And what can you tell us about RentMy's mission?
So startups are great fun, really exciting. You have the pits as well, where things fall down and you've got to rebuild and start again and be innovative. And it's really great fun sort of going through that journey. The RentMy model I thought of in 2006, and I've been building businesses ever since in a variety of different sectors. So I've had tech businesses, recruitment businesses, and I also have a couple of hospitality businesses that I own. And so getting into RentMy in sort of COVID was the time that sort of felt coming out of COVID, there was going to be a recession, there's going to be a clampdown, there's going to be a resource hunger, that people are going to want to use new things and experiment new things. And I could see the opportunity of RentMy really sort of growing and scaling from there. So it's been a very fun sort of year and a half of development and growth and experimenting. It's been brilliant.
Yeah, that is certainly exciting stuff. I mean, you've had such success in such a short time. And I can imagine as well that the resource, I think, scarcity we've seen has really amped up that drive to share things and to grow that part of the economy. So that is amazing to hear. And I do believe that RentMy allows people to share virtually everything they own by adding it to your online platform and offering it up for rent. So what are some of the top rented things?
Well, recently with the Queen's Jubilee, we've seen a lot of marquees and items like that being searched for and being rented. It's exciting to see people getting together for the community, and we see that being one of the big features. Paddle boards, that sort of typical, can I do it, can I not do it item, rather than sort of buying it straight out, is a bit of a try before you buy platform as well, which is really exciting. But the best bit is the community that comes off the back of that. It's if you try this technique, if you try that, the support that each other give is really, really important, and that's sort of like a little bit of training there that you wouldn't have got if you bought it in the shop.
Right, and I'm sure that's amazing to see as well from your perspective. So that sounds excellent. And speaking of that community there, in your opinion, how has RentMy provided a much needed boost to the local economy?
So it democratizes the economy quite quickly, rather than giving money to the big corporate shops or even some of the independent shops. It means that you give a little bit of money to someone local in your community that you then sort of share a value with and share an asset with, and you've also shared an experience with. It's going to work for businesses as well. So we will have a business platform, and there's lots of businesses that, for whatever reason, especially in the UK at the moment, getting hold of equipment has proved problematic, or there's long delays on certain sort of commercial and plant equipment. So there's an opportunity here for people to rent out their larger equipment as well. So there will be later in the year, very excitingly, a B2B version of the platform, or a B2B portal of the platform that we keep a little bit hidden. So.
Wow, that is super useful. And it's amazing to hear that they've sort of been able to take advantage of your platform in that regard, because we are seeing certain shortages in the UK. So it's great to see that aspect there. And I can imagine that trust between owners and renters is a big thing to sort of mount and to juggle. How do you go about that? How do you go about building that trust between the owners and renters on your platform?
So we all very quickly became familiar with the eBay sort of review system, and that kind of set the standard for many years. We have a very similar process, and we've broken it down into the different service levels that you get provided. But we've sort of taken that a little bit further, so that on the onboarding process, we do the verification of the person, so we know that that person is a real authentic person from that location that we're expecting from that location, using that email address, using that telephone number, etc., etc. And if you can't pass those initial inquiries, you're not going to pass later down the line the inquiries about ID verification as well.
Right. I mean, it sounds like you've got a really secure framework there from the get-go.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Security, trust, and community are the big things that we're in our industry.
That is really important stuff there, and great to hear. But speaking on the economy and the sharing economy, as we know, it has grown quite a bit, especially in recent years, which is fascinating to see. So, in your opinion, what are some of the benefits of participating in this economy?
Well, none of us could expect the Ukrainian situation to expand from the 2014 initial invasion and annexation of Crimea. So the resources that we've seen in Europe with sort of VW Group struggling to get some of the wiring looms out of Ukraine, and other businesses that are sort of struggling to get content out of China just because of the sort of zero COVID policy they're running. It all reduces that flow of resources, and that is where we're heading. Sadly, we're going to have to reduce our just linear consumption, and we're going to have to start sharing. We're going to have to make things more circular, and that's going to slow down the availability of items. So being able to share them means that we're going to be able to continue to engage in experiences, not slow down necessarily our production in other forms, because assets are available. And it just makes things a little bit more community focused, which I think after COVID, I think we all missed and didn't realize how much we missed. And that's a real big sort of win as well, is bringing back that community.
Absolutely. That is great to hear. And I'm sure it does have a positive impact on, say, waste reduction, for example, when people are sharing pre-owned items rather than purchasing new ones.
Yep, you lose out on the shipping. You drop the plastic waste that comes in that. You know, items can be designed with multiple purposes and then shared. Resource efficiency increases massively when it's shared, and it also improves the way it's used, which means it can last a lot longer as well.
That is a big plus there, and just one of the many benefits, I think, of your platform. Now, I'd love to know, Tom, what can we look forward to seeing from RentMy for the rest of 2022 and beyond?
So I alluded to it earlier, a little B2B version of the platform. So we actually have a version 2 coming out of RentMy. We've been working hard on that for the last sort of 9-10 months now. And that is an incredibly large build, but we can see the scale and opportunity of this market. So we wanted to make sure that we build something on solid foundations and not on sand. That then allows us to engage with more platforms and be a consolidating force for good in this peer-to-peer and B2C sharing market. The other thing we're very excited about is our seed round. We've been largely bootstrapped, apart from a small pre-seed round. We've been largely bootstrapped through this initial sort of 18 months. And it's exciting that we have a seed round opening, and we hope to close that nice and quickly so we can move on to sort of rolling out into the new territories and getting ourselves over to Australia and New Zealand and over to North America in the next sort of 24-36 months.
That is very exciting stuff. It sounds like you've got a big couple of years ahead of you, and lots of interesting things on the horizon there. And we do look forward to seeing your expansion and everything else you have coming up for your platform. So that's very exciting stuff. But with that said, thanks very much for coming on the show today, Tom, and sharing all that with us. It's been really great to have you here on Executive Corner Expert Talks.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for your time. And thanks for your time as well, viewers. If you just joined us, that was Tom West, founder and CEO of RentMy. And if you missed any part of that chat, you can catch the full interview on our YouTube channel at Kalkine Media, and make sure to subscribe. I'm Holly Shields for Kalkine Media.